The only time you can tell yourself for real that I have learned something is if something in you has changed. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yesterday something happened, right? I shot a video and I uploaded it. But after uploading it, I realized that the entirety of my face was cut off. It was only from below my shoulder down to my hands that were showing. Now I had two options. Either I delete the video, shoot another one again, then upload, or upload it just as I shot it to register in my brain that yes, I conceived of something and I carried out the action. On a normal day, what most of us experience is when such a thing happens, we'll be like, no, Kai, this cannot go, let me delete it and then do it again. Now, because we already have other things lined up that we would want to do, by the time you delete that one, you'll be like, I'll come back and do it later, and then that later will never happen. Or you actually do it again, but the time it will now take you to get it up again will eat into the time for you to do the other things you have lined up. This scenario is what a lot of us try to avoid, right? We don't want to make that mistake that now make it look to others like this pain is what we try to avoid when we overthink things or when we keep learning things and then we keep waiting for the perfect time to carry out the action. You keep going from one course to another, learning one concept after the other, like you keep going from one course to another, one rabbit hole to another, up to a time where your entire energy is spent and you realize that at the end of all that you have learned, you never carried out anything. So I came across a reminder and they were like, do you know the reason why Adam and Eve fell for the trap of Shaitan very easily, despite having been told by Allah that they should not eat from a certain tree in the garden? The lesson we're supposed to take from this is having the knowledge of something alone is never enough, right? Having the knowledge of something is never enough if we do not follow it up by what? Implementation or action. So everything they ever wanted in that garden, Allah had made it readily available for them. But He told them, beware of Iblis because he is your greatest enemy. You know, so they knew at the back of their minds that yes, Iblis is their greatest enemy. They should stay away from him. They should not go close to him, not take his advice. But one thing they did not have, right, was the experience of how Iblis can portray his enmity to them. The different ways he can come, the different, styles or will I say approaches he can use in deceiving them into doing that which Allah had told them not to do. So what is the lesson I want us to bring out from this is no matter how much you learn, you will never truly know that which you know until you execute it. And until you execute it, you will never know where the mistakes lie. Like even if they tell you that, okay, when you do this, there are possibly problems that will come up, until you have carried out the activity yourself, you will never know whether or not for real you're also going to make that mistake. So when is the perfect time for you to act? When is the perfect time for you to start implementing something new that will change the trajectory of your situation? When is the perfect time for you to begin to acquire new skill sets, new knowledge, make new acquaintances, meet new people that would enable you move closer to that goal you have of fulfilling that purpose that you have been sent to fulfill? Knowledge only takes place when there is a change in behavior. that the way you used to carry out activities before has changed, or the way you manage your time has changed, the way you talk to people has changed, the way you behave generally has changed, or the way you approach life's events have changed. But if you keep learning something, but nothing has changed in you or around you about you in the way you carry out activities that these new knowledge you're taking in, right, influences, then you really have not learned anything. And if you continue on that path, that is one of the paths that would lead you to constant anxiety, constant worry, constant, feeling of inadequacy and stuff. But if you really want, like, you're in a situation where you know that you're not satisfied with that thing, that current situation you're in, whatever kind of situation you're in, be it marital, social, finance-wise, your job, something has to change by you carrying out activities that would shift you closer to making a difference in that thing. So, intellectually, if you keep consuming information, but you do nothing, like you do not actively use that information you're consuming to do what? To carry out an action, then nothing of your situation is going to change. This now takes me back to the question I asked first. Did you watch yesterday's video? The setup I did yesterday was because of what happened day before yesterday. Day before yesterday's video, I did it in a portrait mode. So when I came to upload it on YouTube, the video itself was in the middle, surrounded by white space, or rather dark space. So yesterday I was going to do it landscape mode. So I got a platform, I placed the phone on it. I actually looked at the phone before I started recording, and it felt like my face was going to be in the frame. But after doing the recording and trying to edit, I was like, no, I made a mistake. It shouldn't have been this way. Like, it should have captured my face and not below my face. But if I had not carried out action on day one, I would not have known, or rather comprehended the fact that this was not the right way to have shot it. And that would not have led me to yesterday trying to do what? Try the landscape mode. Now, if I had not done it yesterday, today I wouldn't have thought of going to pick up the table stand that I'm currently using to hold my phone, and then taking time to actually adjust the height and position of the phone in such a way that it captures me within the frame. So when you learn something and you carry out one action, that one action you take will lead you to carrying out another action, and that action will lead you to carrying out another action. And before you know it, right, you have taken several steps or several actions, and you have improved on what you were previously not able to do. And before you know it, you become an expert in whatever new thing it is you want to do. So today's video is to tell you that, look, there is no perfect time. No matter how much you keep learning, the only perfect time is now. That thing you've been learning and you're still learning that is making you keep scrolling, searching for, begin to take action on what you have learned. Begin to take that thing you have learned and putting it into action. And before you know, you will gain the expertise you need that will now place you in a position of being able to attract more of what you want. And at the end of the day, life is much better than it was yesterday. So that being said, what is it that is holding you back from starting? Whatever it is, just pack them together and keep it aside and take the first action you need to take based on everything that you've been learning. Remember, it is not the most knowledgeable people that are able to live their best lives. It is those who use the knowledge they have to carry out action and then continue to improve upon what they have learned. So if you have not watched yesterday's video, I'm going to put it somewhere up here. Watch it, carry out the lessons, implement the things you are asked to implement, and then we'll meet tomorrow, inshallah. Do have a great day ahead. Wa barakallahu feekum.